Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So in today's video, we are going to be doing another top MLM fails. I am so excited that I am now in the routine of doing one of these a week. So normally I'll just alternate it like on a Monday or a Friday, whatever day that I kind of want to put it on, depending on what other videos I have planned. So today was supposed to be my video on Beachbody's new gut health program, where I actually react to the corporate call, which I'm so excited for. The fact that I was able to get that call. So that will be happening Friday. I actually switched it from Monday to Friday to give myself more time to edit that video. And this one is shorter, so I'm able to edit it much faster. So I am super excited for you guys to see that video too, but let's get right into it. I have a couple that I'm going to be reacting to today, like a couple MLM fails that you guys sent me. I think all of these. Yeah, all of these were sent to me. You guys have been sending me a lot of stuff lately through my Google Drive, which has been really helpful in ensuring that I see every single thing that is sent to me versus sending it to me in DMs. So with that being said, let's see what MLM fails we have.
I am getting together everything, like the 3-day Build Your Brand Bootcamp. We are ready to go. If you guys are not in that group, get in there. I actually did a free bonus training on Friday, and I'm going to be hopping back live in there tomorrow for just a little mindset pump up, which I'm really, really excited about. But I mentioned on the last story that on Wednesday, after the Build Your Brand Bootcamp ends, I will be opening the doors for 5 days. That's it. To my Blueprint to Social Selling. So I launched this course once last year. I've got to show you guys some of the testimonials and just incredible statistics of the women who were in that group and the growth they saw. Maggie's crying because David's outside. But along with that, this will be the only time this year that you can get the Blueprint to Social Selling plus get in my mastermind, where you and I work together for the next 10 weeks to answer all your questions. Okay, so you wanna make sure you're in the group, because that's where I'm gonna be telling you all about how you can get a free 20-minute one-on-one business audit with me, where we review your whole business, set up a quick business plan. I'm also doing social media audits. We will also be talking about how this is your only opportunity to get 5 live group coaching sessions included. So that means you purchase the course, and then every other week, we have these milestones you're gonna hit in the course, and these group coaching sessions where I'll answer your questions and help you get there. So I don't know about you, but I've bought courses in the past, and a lot of times they just sit there unfinished. I want the group coaching. I want to be able to ask specific questions about my business, and that is what we're gonna do when we open the doors to Blueprint to Social Selling. Because it's the only time it's gonna happen this year, because then I'm gonna go have a baby the last half of this year. And so I won't be doing that one-on-one mentorship. So get in this 3-day group.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to react to this when it was sent to me is mainly because this is a top Beachbody rep. And it's something that I'm seeing happening more and more with the top reps in multi-level marketing companies. And I'm noticing that the more time that goes on, the more that these top reps are becoming what I like to call MLM coaches. This person has a blueprint to social selling, like a whole entire course. She then has like business audits. So I'm guessing she goes on your Instagram account, and then she looks at your Instagram account and is like, okay, what are you doing? And how is that helping your multi-level marketing company and helping you make money in your MLM? And I'm noticing that more people are doing this. And it's not really the reps at the bottom of the pyramid or even the middle of the pyramid who are just like, there. It's always the top reps that I'm watching do this more and more, whether it's they're starting other businesses, they're starting other coaching ventures, whether it's like a lot of the Beachbody reps, what they're doing now when they're at the top is doing actual coaching, like nutrition coaching, and they shouldn't even be doing that because they have no certifications. I've seen this with a top rep, Ashley Molstead, where she actually has a whole entire program on intuitive eating. And with that, I don't believe that she's a dietitian. She hasn't said that she's gone to school for that or anything like that. So when I see them doing these things, it really makes me question and wonder if these top reps are looking at their numbers and realizing that MLMs are truly not sustainable. And because of that, they're moving on to other ventures like MLM coaching, and they're finding out that they need to branch out into those things to make even more money. But another thing that I don't like about the MLM reps doing this, especially when it comes to like MLM coaching, is they've already gotten to the top of their MLM where they have like, this person has hundreds of, probably thousands of people under her. She's been a top 10 Beachbody rep for a very long time. That means that she's already making hundreds of thousands of dollars dollars off of the people that are in her downline. But now she's taking it a step further to build a whole entire course where you're going to end up having to pay for things. And she's taking that also from the people in her downline and other MLM reps that are in Beachbody. Because a lot of times what happens with these MLMs is there will be people who are on other teams, like you're not on this person's team, but you kind of look up to them because they're like a Beachbody name. There's someone who's in the top 10. They're talked about a lot. So what will end up happening is people will want to be on their team, but you're not allowed to switch teams in Beachbody unless you quit for 6 months and re-sign up under someone, and people aren't going to do that. So what they're going to end up doing is people they look up to in the MLM that they believe they can see success if they get taught by this person are going to end up joining these MLM coach like masterminds or this thing like their blueprint to social selling and getting into actually spending even more money on an MLM coach, when we know that no matter how hard you work, no matter how much coaching you get from these top reps, that does not mean you're going to make money in your MLM. And we have to think of it as every week MLM reps are already going on all of these Zoom call trainings. They have weekly trainings. Normally it's up to like 3 or 4 trainings a week. And aside from the Zoom trainings, a lot of the times they have actual like live streams that are done in the Facebook groups of these multi-level marketing like company teams, and they're constantly being trained. So if that training that they're already getting from a lot of people in the MLM isn't working and they're not seeing success from that, they're going to try and do something else like joining these top reps like MLM coach things, hoping that they can make money that way. But in general, even the FTC says that no matter how hard you work, most people in MLMs don't make money, they lose money, or they go into debt in multi-level marketing companies. So I think it's really interesting that we're seeing this more and more, and I'll definitely be keeping up to date with this individual because in the future I do want to make a dedicated video to her MLM coach thing that she has going on. But I would love to know if you guys have any theories as to why we're seeing this more and more, like these top reps becoming MLM coaches. And it's not like I'm seeing a lot of them quit their MLM. They're still doing their MLM. They're still making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're still in the top of the MLM, but they're just adding that MLM coaching on top of it. And in general, I have a theory that I just think they are realizing it's not sustainable and that they need to branch out into doing other things. Let's move on to the next actual video. This video is really long, which is why we're not reacting to many different things today, because alone this video is 9 minutes long. So this was actually sent to me, so thank you for the individual who sent it to me, and let's see what this individual has to say.
Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. You guys, I did not go to the gym this morning. I woke up at like 4 o'clock and I heard the thunder and all the rain outside, and I was like, yeah, not gonna work today. It's just not going to. And I heard, like, because I hate driving in the rain too, and this morning when I heard the thunder, I was like, fuck out of here, bro. Not happening, friend. Thank you though. So I'm gonna go tomorrow, but then like I'm so tired, and I think that I've been running, like I've been going to sleep at 10 or 11 o'clock and waking up at like 3:30 or 4, and I usually sleep like 7 or 9 hours, so that's just not, and I'm just running low on sleep and low on energy, and I feel like I'm just burnt out. I've been getting a lot of shit done though. When I wake up at 4 in the morning and go to sleep late, I get so much done and I feel so productive. So it's gonna keep going. I'm just burnt out. And if you were here for October, that's how I'm feeling right now. Which I love, but I hate at the same time. I just think me burnt out is gonna take a little bit of time getting used to in this new schedule, like actually being consistent with it is gonna take time. But once burnout becomes my new normal, it's like it's not even gonna affect me.
So when burnout becomes her new normal, it's not going to affect her. I feel like that's not a good thing long term. And I kind of want to go into what is called hustle culture. And this is exactly what it is. As you can see, this individual says that she wakes up at like 3:30, 4 a.m., goes to bed really late, barely probably getting like 5 hours of sleep every single night. This person is beyond burnt out and is trying to make burnout their new normal, which I don't really think that is possible to make it your new normal. When you're burnt out, you can't take anymore, and you shouldn't be trying to make that your new normal. But this is exactly what hustle culture is and what hustle culture in MLMs is taught to be. And take a shot every time I say hustle culture. It's going to be a lot. So hustle culture is a lifestyle where your career has become such a priority in your life or the environment that you work in that other aspects of being human, such as hobbies, family time, and self-care, often take a back seat. This is very widely taught in multi-level marketing companies, and in MLMs, we hear a lot of the times where MLM reps are taught that if they don't hustle every waking moment, that it's their fault they're failing. So everybody in an MLM who is failing, aka who's at the bottom of the pyramid, who's not able to recruit enough people to make it to the top, they are looked at as if they are failing, and they are told that it's their fault, that they're not working hard enough, that they aren't taking those extra spots in their day to work harder, even though they're probably like this individual already very, very, very burnt out. And what ends up happening is MLM reps then start to feel guilty. They start to feel guilty because they are constantly being told that it's their fault, that, oh, it's your fault that you're not being successful because you're not working hard enough, or you aren't working enough. Oh, you aren't getting up early enough. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. and I'm not going to bed until midnight, etc., etc., etc. That is what these top MLM reps are saying. And that is what's being taught in these corporate calls where, for example, like Beachbody, I know they have what's called like the National Wake Up Call, where they bring on like a top rep to talk every single week. They're the same type of calls that are happening in Monat, where these reps are being taught this from the top down. Like these companies know that these reps are being taught these things, and they are being taught that it's their fault that they're not making it to the top. So they end up falling into hustle culture where they're working so much that they become very burnt out. And in general, that's what makes them feed into hustle culture. And what I mean by that, I mean that in general, when you're being told over and over that it's your fault, you're failing, when you're being told over and over that you're not working hard enough, or you're not waking up early enough, and you're not going to bed late enough, you are going to continue to feed into that MLM hustle culture, because you think it's your fault. You start to really believe that. And I think that a lot of MLM reps do get to this point where they start to believe that it's truly their fault. And deep down, they truly believe that they're the reason they're not seeing success. When we know in multiple marketing companies, per the FTC, most people who join MLMs make little or no money or lose money. And no matter how hard they work, aka no matter how much you're burning yourself out, no matter how hard you're working, no matter how many hours you're putting into it, you're probably still not going to get to the top of the multiple marketing company. You're probably still not going to make a livable wage in that MLM where you can actually quit the job you're currently in. So then what begins to happen is what's happening to this individual, where they start feeling burnt out. They are emotionally, mentally, and physically drained, which can actually lead to a lot of physical conditions and mental health issues that these people may have to face in the future. Once you start to become so burnt out, it can really affect your whole entire body. Just how things like anxiety make you have an upset stomach or gut issues because you are struggling mentally. So there are things that are going to happen when you are mentally burnt out to the point of no return, and how that's going to affect your actual body. So in the end, like I said, reps will continue to blame themselves for not working hard enough or hustling hard enough versus looking into the actual business model, because that's what they're being taught to do. MLM reps are being taught that it's your fault, that you are to blame when you're not seeing that success, that you aren't working hard enough. And they're not being told, you should probably look into this business model and figure out why most people in your multi-level marketing company, while most of them are hustling 24/7, most of them aren't succeeding. Most of them aren't getting to the top. Most of them aren't making that livable wage. And reps are never going to do that because they're not taught to do that. They're not taught to look at the income disclosure statement and believe it. They're taught that those income disclosure statements are lies and they're like a facade that is put out and that anti-MLMers are using. No, it's numbers that your company puts out to show the realistic standards of what you're making in that MLM, what most people are making in an MLM, even though there are a lot of things with income disclosure statements that need to be tweaked, like adding more things to it. But in general, your company is putting that out. And instead of teaching the reps to look at those things and to look within the business model of multi-level marketing companies, they're taught that they are the problem. And what all of this does, what all of this rhetoric that's being taught in multi-level marketing companies do, what it does is just hides the truth behind what's actually going on with multi-level marketing companies and the truth about why most people don't make it to the top. So I hope that this person can hopefully one day see that and hopefully one day look into it, because I can see that this person, like she said, is so burnt out that she's trying to make it her new normal, and she deserves to have a very healthy work environment, not one where you have to make burnout your new reality.
That being said, I haven't been taking on new business partners this month just because, for the pure reason that I have been working on some exciting behind the scenes things, and one of those things is creating this new system that basically makes it an easier way of explaining how to be successful in this business, and an easier format, and it's just more simple, and it's broken down into all the things that you need. So I'm very excited to share that with you guys. However, if you have been watching me for a while, April's in a couple days. I already have people in line waiting, so my Friday and Saturday is booked up. But you guys, if you have been wanting another source of income, if you have been wanting more freedom, if you have been watching me for a while and just want to shit up with us, let's fucking go. If you want to just get your hands on these products for our, if you have been wanting more time freedom, if you have been wanting to travel more, if you have been wanting to be a part of a community, if you have been wanting to just meet some like-minded people, if you want to just make that money, moolah, baby, this is it for you. This may be another opportunity that just aligns with your future, or aligns with your morals, aligns with what you want to do in life. But I still want to talk to you and see if that is something that is a potential for you. And my job, I say this all the time, my job is to just educate and inform you guys. Like, ask questions, find out about more, what's out there, what else is out there. Really just find out about what else is out there, because I guarantee you there's so fucking much.
So she's pretty much saying that if you want to have another source of income, if you want more time freedom, let's freaking go. You can get more traveling with us if you want to make more money, etc. Pretty much join us. So time freedom in general would mean taking a break when you feel burnt out. You would be able to do that. You would be able to have an actual healthy work environment. Even if you own your own business, you would be able to do that because you have the time freedom. So when you're feeling burnt out, you should be able to take that break because you have the freedom to do so. You have that time freedom. Time freedom wouldn't be trying to make burnout your new normal. And I feel like that's what's happening in MLMs, is they think time freedom is, oh, I can go on the beach and work my business. That's not time freedom. That's hustle culture. That's you thinking you can't even go to the beach one day or for half of a day without working. Time freedom isn't that. Time freedom is being able to take the time to be free of that work. Like, I know there's plenty of times where I see people who own businesses, they take time off. If they're feeling burnt out, they take a couple days off, they take a week off, whatever it is that they may need to do, they're able to take that time off because that's what time freedom is. And then also with the making an extra source of income if you want the money, etc., what she was saying, we already know in Monat's income disclosure statement, they don't have one for 2021 yet. I'm waiting on that, and the second we get it, I'll be making a video on it along with Beachbody's 2021 income disclosure statement. We are still waiting, but Monat's income disclosure statement proves that that is wrong, because the average Monat rep makes $876 a year. So another source of income for the average person isn't possible with this MLM after starter kits and the monthly cost of a multi-level marketing company within a year period if the average is $876.
Crypto, NFTs, Forex, trading, stocks, there's network marketing, MLMs, being an influencer, YouTube, there's brand deals, there's partnerships, there's all of these things that are out there.
Yes, there are that. I'm glad that she knows. There are those things out there. There is social media like YouTube AdSense. There is TikTok Creator Fund. There is working with brands where you get a flat rate to post about the company or the product that you're talking about. There are so many other options besides a multi-level marketing company and besides working an average job where you work 40 hours a week if that's something that you don't want to do, because there are things where you can actually actually own your own business, whether you're a nail tech, whether you open an actual like brick and mortar store, whether you do eyelash extensions, whether you are a hairdresser and you rent out like a station at a hair salon. There are so many other things that you could do. And then there are different aspects of social media that don't involve multiple marketing companies, or most people don't make money.
And the only people that I should see not reaching out about these opportunities and seeing what else is out there is the people that are okay with going to college for another 4 years after graduating high school, and then after college being okay with going to the 9-to-5 for the rest of your life and getting a raise only every like once a year for maybe like 10 or 15 cents. Those are the only people that should not be reaching out about anything. So here's the link.
Okay, and I'm going to pause because she wrote something on the screen. She said, are you okay with graduating high school, going to college, paying thousands of dollars just to go, and then working a 9-to-5 for the rest of your life and getting only a 15-cent raise annually? It's okay if you are. It's the only thing we've known for hundreds of thousands of years. But think about this.
And regarding the last slide, it's completely fine if you are 100% fine. But I know there's people out there that they're not okay with that. And it's like, it's just about people putting it into perspective for them. Like, if you go work a 9-to-5, you're only going to be getting a 15 cent, maybe 20 cent raise annually. So you have to wait until your full 1 year mark to get a 15-cent raise. And then what? You're going to wait 5 years, or 15, 30, 45, 90, 45, 60, even worse, 7 years to get a little over $1 raise. Excuse me, what? You must be, you're fucking with me. Anyways, this pushed him to perspective, okay? Hold on. Freeze. You're seeing crackhead now because this wow.
So she said that the only people that shouldn't be reaching out to me are the people that are okay with going to college for 4 years and then after college doing a 9-to-5. Yeah, a lot of people are okay with that because that's what they want to do. A lot of people want to go work a job. And not all jobs are like the 9-to-5. Not all jobs are in corporate, because that's what like MLMs talk about a lot. When there are a lot of other jobs at different hours where you don't have to work 40 hours a week if you don't want to. There are many things like travel nursing and stuff like that where you don't have to work the average amount of time that they talk about working. But in general, clearly, if you're okay with that, she doesn't want you reaching out to her. She then said that you'll only get a raise for 10 to 15 cents a year. So the average raise isn't 10 to 15 cents. She definitely lowballed that. Let me know in the comments below if you work a job in general. How often do you get a raise? And then when you do get a raise, how much is it? And is it worth it? I would love to know in the comments below. But with that, most people who actually work a normal job, I would say just a full-time job, something that is 40 hours a week, 80 hours bi-weekly, and that's like when you get your paycheck. If you work a job, you can actually work your way up into higher paying positions. And now MLM reps want to say, well, see, you're working your way up just like you are in the ranks of an MLM. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. I have many videos where I talk about that. But there's also a thing called entry-level jobs. So say you get out of college, you get out of high school, and you go to a job, you're going to get paid that entry level pay. But then once you get experience, you can either work your way up in that company if they have that opportunity, which I recommend a lot of people going into companies where they give you that opportunity to, work your way up when it comes to income wise and position wise in the company. But the other thing that you can do is go to a starter job where you join at that entry level, get that experience that you feel comfortable getting, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years experience. And then you can actually go to another job or go on interviews for higher paying jobs that actually need you to have that experience. But on top of that, even if you go to an entry level paying job after college, you are guaranteed that money. You know what you're going to get every 2 weeks if you work 40 hours a week. You know at the end of the day what your paycheck is. And at the same time, a lot of those jobs like 9-to-5 jobs or corporate jobs actually give you benefits. You will get things like healthcare, dental care, vision, because I actually got that with my job. But in general, you have those things. You have benefits, you have PTO, you have things that people actually love to have. A lot of people love their jobs because they can clock in and clock out and they don't have to worry about it. And then when they do clock in, they get all those benefits like PTO, healthcare, and all of that stuff. And they get paid at the end of the day, which is what most people want. And I don't want to negate the fact that, yes, we do have a problem with minimum wage in the United States. It needs to be minimum $15 in general, like $15 an hour. And I know that that is an issue, but that is a separate issue from multi-level marketing companies, and they don't equal each other out. There isn't, oh, let's compare MLMs to a 9-to-5 or to a job where you actually get paid and you actually get benefits. But in general, I'm going to take it a step further and kind of go over the finances of working a minimum wage job at that $15 an hour and working in MLM like Monat, where the average person makes $876 a year, and show the difference. Because most people don't do this when you join an MLM. Most people aren't going to look at the income disclosure statement. Most people are going to believe the upline at the tippy top when they say that the income disclosure statements are lies. But I just want to put the numbers into perspective because it's wild. So let's say you get paid $15 an hour and you work 40 hours a week. So you work a full-time job. When you do the math on how many pay periods we have in a year, it's $31,200 a year. That is your annual compensation before taxes, depending on your state, how much taxes are. Now, if we look into Monat, the average person makes $876 a year. That means that your annual compensation before taxes and for expenses, because you do have to pay things like staying active every single month and business fees and annual fees for this multi-marketing company, before expenses is $876, which means that you get paid 42 cents an hour if you work 40 hours a week on your MLM. But let's say I give you the benefit of the doubt in a multi-level marketing company, and I say you work part-time. Maybe you do have a full-time job, or you're trying to join the MLM and make it your full-time job. So we're going to say you work 20 hours a week, so 40 hours a pay period. So pretty much half of what a full-time worker would make. That means you're only making 84 cents an hour every hour that you work. If you work part-time in Monat, the average person is making 84 cents an hour. Not $7, not $15, none of that. So the average person in Monat makes less than $1 an hour, depending on the hours you work. So the average amount of money that Monat reps are making and minimum wage, where someone is guaranteed pay, is not comparable. So if you are in a multi-marketing company, I would really recommend doing this. If you are watching this video and, thinking about your MLM and maybe you're finally seeing things for what they are, or maybe just want to do a little bit more research, I would recommend really taking this week and being like, okay, how many hours did I work? How much did I make on this week's paycheck? Because most MLMs pay you every single week. And then do the math. Look up, how much did I make per hour that I work? And is that time worth making the amount of money that I'm making, knowing that most people won't get up to the top, knowing that you probably won't make it to the top of the MLM, because most people don't. So I would really recommend doing that. I think it really has opened my eyes. So when I got out of my MLM, I didn't do this, but what I did do was I did go through all my expenses and learned that I lost over $5,000 after 2 years in an MLM. But my friend actually did this, and she learned she was making like a couple cents an hour. And she was like, holy shit, the last 3 years I spent all of this time thinking I could make it to the top, and I've only made a couple cents an hour for 3 freaking years. So I would really recommend doing that. I think it puts a lot into perspective. But again, 9-to-5s, working 40 hours a week, working full time, it's just not comparable. It's not comparable to the average amount of money someone's earning in an MLM.
I've done a lot of looking back at why my mindset is the way it is, why I act the way I act, and also looking at shit across other people and realizing why they're acting the way they're acting. So why is it that people still continue to go to these 9-to-5s even though they know this? Okay? There's so many factors that could weigh into this, but one of the first ones that comes to mind, it's what people have been used to. Hundreds of thousands of years, this is what people have done. Day in, day out. Wake up, 9-to-5, home, kids, sleep. That's it. So, for example, a while ago, I remember when I was younger, big butts, big boobs were like a no-no. If you had a big butt, you were something was wrong with you. Okay? And now, big butts are guys be like, ooh, she thick. Ooh, what I could do. Big butts and big boobs, if you had those, you were from another planet, you were an alien, you were a no-no, okay?
So we're comparing big butts and big boobs to multiple marketing companies and the messed up things that happen in MLMs and how most people don't make money in MLMs. Okay.
And now, do I need to almost over. But listen, the same shit's gonna happen with businesses, okay? People were like, oh, you're starting a business? Oh, you're gonna invest? Wait, you're dropping out of college for this? Are you sure? Bitch, yes, I'm sure. Businesses are the big butts, okay? People were scared of having them because of what other people would say until they had them and noticed that people were saying the opposite from what they said a couple years ago. Poof. Mind blown. I know I just blew your fucking mind, because every time I speak about this is why I say I wish everyone was an overthinker, because if they overthought this, it's like so many realizations would come in, but at the same time I'm like, no, let's just pause. Listen, people shit on businesses and still continue to talk. Wait a couple years and then they're gonna be like, shit, maybe I should just. People that would shit about the butts are the same people that shit about the businesses and then go and get themselves a BBL. I'm sorry, but like, the people that shit on businesses and on college dropouts and on investments are the same people that there's two ways this could go. You're either stuck in your 9-to-5 the rest of your life and unhappy, or two, you wait a couple years and invest. But you waited for all those people to change their negative opinions into good ones to finally invest, because you're so focused on what other people are saying, and you're so focused on what other people have to fucking say about a decision that you want to make. It's like you just throw it out in the air like, Mom, I really like that girl's BBL, like whatever. And then she talks shit and you're like, yeah, I would never do that. But the idea of leave before I go on another rant, but let me know if you understood what I was saying, because I think I made some pretty great points in there. If I do say so myself. Oh my god, there's a car right there. But I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. I finished work in like 3 hours, so it's gonna be a great.
Let's get into the ending of that. I'm just still flabbergasted at the fact that we're comparing butts to MLMs. But okay, that's what we're doing. I'm just gonna move over that. She said, why do people still go to their 9-to-5s when they know this? Everything that she said, she's talking about when they know what she just talked about. Well, they go to their 9-to-5 still, or their full-time jobs, because what she's saying isn't accurate. Like, what this individual is saying isn't 100% accurate for every single person that works a full-time job. So we can't go off of that. People aren't thinking what it is that you're thinking, and they're not going through what it is that you're talking about. You're talking about things that are just taught in MLMs to keep you within the MLM for longer, to keep you within that hustle culture, to keep you going in the MLM. That's not actually what's happening when people are working their full-time jobs. But anyways, just to talk about the benefits of maybe a full-time job. The average person that goes to their 9-to-5, I would love to know down below, comment down below, if you work a full-time job, why do you like it? What are the reasons that you like your full-time job? I would love to know, but I'm going to list a lot of reasons right now why I've seen people really like their full-time jobs. Number one, because they just like it. They like it. They like working their job. They love the career they're in. For example, teachers just love to teach, so they do it. You have nurses, you have doctors who love to help people. You have therapists who love to help people through their mental health, struggles. You have people who just love their careers. You have people who are electricians, who love doing their jobs. Then you also have people who just want to make some money, and a job is guaranteed income because you need money to survive in the world. You also have people that enjoy the fact that a full-time job is structured. They don't like the idea of businesses or of multiple marketing companies, one, because there's no guaranteed pay, and lots of other reasons why we don't like MLMs. But in general, when it comes to actual businesses, a lot of people love the fact that with a normal job, you clock in, you work your job, you clock out, and you can do whatever you want with your time. It's very, very structured, and you're able to clock in and clock out and have that actual free time on your off time. You aren't obligated to, on your off time, do things for the business. You're not obligated to hop on calls and not get paid to do so. You're not obligated to do all of those things, and people love that. I know I'm a very structured person, so I love having a full-time job where I have that structure for me, where I can clock in, clock out, and just do my job. But on top of that, people love their full-time jobs because they get PTO, they get medical, they get dental and vision insurance. There's a lot more reasons why people love their jobs. That's just some examples. The benefits, like I said, with like dental, medical, vision insurance, but also things like structure, guaranteed pay, people actually loving their career. There are a lot of different reasons. So I'd love to hear if you have any more in the comment sections down below. But also, we have to think about, what would we do without people who work these jobs? Like, what would we do without doctors, firefighters, therapists, customer service agents who help us on a daily basis, teachers who teach our freaking new generations of human beings in school? You have nurses, you have pilots who fly our planes when we're on it. You have all of these people who truly need to do their jobs, because what would we do without them? What would we do without firefighters to come help us? What would we do without pilots to fly our planes for us? What would we do without customer service agents to help us when we have questions about something we bought from a business or something like that? So we need these people to do their jobs. We need the people in these jobs. We can't just have a bunch of robots doing it, or we can't have every single person on the planet just start a business and not fill these job fields. And in general, people just enjoy their jobs. Not everyone's miserable in a 9-to-5. And that kind of leads me into the next point, where she said people who talk crap about businesses and on college dropouts are either stuck in their 9-to-5s unhappy, or they're going to wait a couple years and invest and start a business, aka start like an MLM or whatever. I don't think that's true. I don't think that there are just two things that can happen when someone has a full-time job. Because like this individual said, she said that people are either going to be unhappy because they work a 9-to-5, or they're going to invest one day. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of people are happy with what it is that they're doing. So I do think that if people are talking crap about like starting a business, like, oh, being a hairstylist or whatever it is, or if someone wants to drop out of college to start a business, I think that while I understand why a family member or friend may be concerned, because it's a big thing to do that. It is such a big thing to start your own business or drop out of college when you've been doing it for however many years you've been doing it. But I do think that those people should still support you on some level and shouldn't judge you just because you are deciding to do that with your life. I think that there are so many other avenues than just going to college. I think there's so many freaking options for people nowadays where you don't have to go to college if you don't want to. Like, if your career field that you want to be in for the rest of your life doesn't involve going to college, then don't freaking do it. Do whatever it is that you want to do, and people shouldn't talk bad about that if your career field that you want to go in doesn't involve college, because I think that there are a lot of other career fields that don't, where people are doing amazing things. But with that, if she's talking about MLMs, MLMs aren't businesses. You are pretty much a sales rep for a company, and you spend money to promote for that person's company. Like, you spend money buying products every single month and staying active so that you can either sell a product or have someone sign up and you recruit them to also sell the product. So if you're saying people talk crap about MLMs and one day they're going to end up doing it, or they're just going to be unhappy in their 9-to-5, it's not that people are talking crap about MLMs. It's that people are seeing the truth behind multi-level marketing companies finally, and they're starting to educate on them or starting to inform other people that they know when they see them joining these things, because they don't want their friends and family to actually get hurt by it, because they see things like the lies that are being told by MLMs. They see the psychological manipulation. They see the cult-like tactics, including gaslighting and love bombing, that are happening within MLM. They also see that most people don't make money, aka most people who join MLMs make little money or no money, and some lose money per the FTC. Even though the MLM opportunity is promoted as one where you can have financial freedom and time freedom, along with the luxuries in life like traveling, that isn't possible for most people. And if you're saying that, oh, people are talking crap about MLMs and they're going to just be unhappy, or one day they're going to do it, that's not true. Most people are just more educated on MLMs now and are being loud about it, and they are talking about it and actually taking time to inform people, especially the people that they love and adore, because they don't want to see those people hurt. And going back to the 9-to-5, the people are unhappy, etc., I think this is such a large narrative that is happening in multi-level marketing companies, that the second you join an MLM, they build this narrative around the fact that you need to quit your job, that most people hate their jobs and they hate their lives, when this is not true. But it's just a narrative that is promoted in MLMs and will continue to be promoted in MLMs. I don't know why that's something that they do, probably because they just want people to relate. They want to probably relate to people who actually do not like the job that they're working in, and then they hope that they can relate to them so that that person joins them in their MLM. But I just find it very weird that this is the narrative that's happening in multi-level marketing companies. companies. So the last thing that I wanted to react to today was a post. So the post says, "Me to the keyboard warriors who try to throw shade on network marketing with a backhanded comment." And then it says, "PSA, MLMs, it's not for everyone, but it's perfect for a lot, including myself. Peace sign. The biz has provided in more ways than one. It's 2022, y'all. It's not the 80s. Aren't we all trying to work virtually at this point?" Laughing emoji. Let me show you how. So I think with this post, my thoughts on it is that when something is harming people, like how multiple marketing companies harm people, people are gonna talk about it. When it's proven time and time again that most people who join MLMs make no money, they lose money, they go into debt, they lose friendships, relationships, they pretty much join a commercial cult, people are going to talk about it. It has nothing to do with the fact that the business is perfect for you, but instead it has to do with how the business model has harmed people and how many people are harmed due to this exact business model, multiple marketing companies. And if we look at how many people are harmed by MLMs, the answer is most people. Most people who join aren't making money. They're not making a livable wage. They lose friendships and relationships. They waste a lot of time in an MLM where they are burnt out, like the person we just talked about before. So MLMs hurt a lot of people. And when that happens and people start watching that happen, or when people are harmed by something, they're going to continue to talk about it and educate on it and inform about it because they don't want it to happen to more people. I know that's like a big reason why I talk about MLMs is because I watched what it did to me and a lot of other people that were in the MLM when I was in it. I watched all of the cult-like tactics happen right in front of me. I had to go through the whole deprogramming period when I finally decided I wanted to leave my MLM, and I don't want to see more people go through that. So that's a big reason why I talk about MLMs. It has nothing to do with being like a keyboard warrior, but instead has everything to do with the cult tactics, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the love bombing, and the fact that most people don't make money in MLMs. And all in all, it mostly has to do with how the business model takes from most people and gives to very few. And you, the individual who posted this, may be one of the individuals that the MLM is doing great things for, aka making you money or sending you on trips or making you enough money to go on these expensive trips and live this luxury lifestyle. But that doesn't mean that it's not hurting most people who end up in it. Just because it's helping you doesn't mean that it's not hurting most people. And that's my opinion on that. So with that being said, that's going to be all for today's video. I would love to know what you guys thought down below. Don't forget that Friday we are going to be talking about Beachbody's gut health program. The video is fully scripted. I just have to film that and edit that this week before I go to my job. And that is pretty much it. I can't wait for you guys to see that video. Also, let me know what your thoughts down below were about this video. And don't forget to leave a like, any comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also comment down below things that you may want to see me talk about. Are there things that are happening in MLMs that maybe I'm not talking about yet, or new things that are happening, some MLM news that you want me to talk about? Definitely make sure to comment that down below. I would be interested in seeing the things that you guys want me to talk about below, and I'll see you guys in Friday's video. Doing things like this person has a blue pit, and I don't believe she's certified as a dietitian. No. That don't involve, and I'm not saying no. Has opened my eyes when I seen my friend do it. So when I got motherfucker. It's not really the reps at the bottom of the pyramid.